Coming up next on In the Box Seat podcast.
It's been great. I've obviously got a lot of support from South Africa on my journey in New Zealand, and it's been great. It's always well received, and I'm very thankful for it.
Don't worry,
people haven't forgotten me.
No, they haven't. Welcome to another edition of In the Box Seat, without Warren to interfere all the time. But with me, I've got what everybody wants to know about, a really good guest, Warren Kennedy, champion jockey of South Africa, champion jockey of New Zealand, one of the premier riders in the world. Oh. Warren, thanks for coming in.
Jeez, what an introduction, Andrew. Thank you for having me.
No, I'll get it right now. Stop stuttering. Warren's the one that usually makes all the noise.
Yeah. No, I still watch all the podcasts and that thing. It's really good.
Yeah. No, it's good to have you back. How long are you here for?
Look, I'm on a break now, so till the 20th of July, just to visit Barbara's family and that sort of thing.
Okay.
Came to ride in the July year, obviously. But essentially on holiday.
Yeah.
Back on the 20th.
Oh, so the season starts on the... Yeah.
Season starts exactly the same time as it does here, 1st of August. So you got to get back and starting to link up with horses and try and find the diamonds in the rough there.
Right, okay. Let's just start from the beginning. Just a quick recap of where you came from. Your dad, Terence, was a jockey?
That's right, yeah. Born and bred Durban boy. Father was a jockey, became a trainer. All this happened before I really realised what was going on. I don't remember much about him training or riding at all, but always a small kid in school, very athletic, wasn't too bright in school, but got by. Yeah. And look, in those days when you were small, even the school teachers would be like, you should be a jockey, you should be a jockey.
No, jockey was a good profession in those days.
Yeah, and look, wouldn't say I was pressured into it or anything like that, but the opportunity arose that why not try it out?
Yeah.
Went there, got accepted, and it's just snowballed from there and just carried on riding.
Okay, but you were very light at that stage. You were 28 kilos or
Very light, yeah. I think I went into the academy, I was 14 years old. I think I went in 26 when I first got there. But in those days, they were very strict.
Yes.
You know, you had to have a certain shoe size 3, you had to be a 3, and they did your bone density test and all that sort of thing. So it was really difficult to get in. So I actually went in in the year 95 with, I think there were 13 in our intake. It was quite a big year. Look, I think only Mornay Vinard still riding here now and then there. But like the Nicky Roebuck, Mornay Vinard, Lorenzo Karim. Yeah, they were all in my year. Gift for Neck, a little more for King.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, look, we were in that year and, I was a bit too light. I wasn't getting rides in Durban. So, because obviously, claim 4, the bottom weight for 52 that time. Okay. So to claim 4, and only the handicaps really.
Yeah. So 20 kilos of
so exactly, the dead weight issue. You were only like 13 kilos or something like that. Yeah. So I was battling to get rides here. Opportunity came. They said they're opening up a academy in PE. So I went down, linked up with Nick Claassen, old man Nick Claassen. Very tough, very rough, very raw man. Yeah. But look, after like maybe 6 or 7 months there, I became his number 1 stable rider. So got very lucky in that respect and rode a good few winners, was champion apprentice.
Who was the academy master then?
Well, I think Mark Keeley was the academy master. We had our riding masters, Vince Curtis, Kenny Michelle, David Cavey. Yeah, very good riding masters. Very tough guys, but you know, if you got past the initial stages, you knew you could ride. Yeah. So look, and obviously did very well in PE, was champion there, then decided to make the move back up to Durban.
But you always had a reputation of being a good jockey. I mean, Mike de Kock put you on a horse for the July. I'm trying to think of the Forest Path.
Yeah.
Apparently, it was a real difficult ride.
Yeah, he was. He was a very aggressive horse. I think he'd run up to miles and he'd won 1400s. And very difficult horse. I'll never forget the first time he came from Joburg back to Sommerveld. Took him up to the top track at Sommerveld, and halfway up, he just started oiling with me. Yeah, he was a very difficult customer to ride every day. But yeah, we rode him in the July. It was drawn right on the outside, and we ended up leading, dragged it up. I think he ran third that year.
Third, yeah, to
Big City Life
Big
won
City
it.
Life, yeah.
And I think Zirconium won second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember Mike saying afterwards, he said it was a tremendous ride. He said one of the best he's seen.
Well, yeah.
But he still didn't give you any chances, did he?
No, he did.
He did
He did.
after
Look, it was difficult in those days. You had likes of Del Pesh coming back and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So they were the number one riders. So they took all the really good horses. So look, you got your opportunities, and like I said to the young apprentice I saw them the other day, if you get your opportunities, you just got to shine on them.
Yeah.
Do your best, make no mistakes, and everyone will see it. And it just snowballs from there when they can see that you can ride these horses and not make mistakes under pressure.
Yes.
You'll get more chances, and the more chances equals more winners, more opportunities, more people see you. So look, it's basically the onus is on you to really put up your socks and promote yourself, and really just not make mistakes and ride proper races.
Yeah, but we've remiss now because you had a very bad fall in PE, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
They readjusted you're better looking now than you were.
Yeah, we'll see. I still have a bit of a word with my plastic surgeons that he could have done a bit better. You had opportunity. Yeah, I think I missed that boat a little bit. But look, it's I had a really bad fall. I was riding in Durban. I just got the job with Gavin Smith, which was a huge job. As you know, Gavin Smith and Anna the two biggest stables in Port Elizabeth, was a huge job. And I think it was my first meeting or my second meeting for him was a 4-10 shot come down. Yeah, smashed my face up, was out. And, small things like that are big setbacks in a jockey's career, because now that job is gone for that whole season.
No, so the job's gone, but also your nerve hasn't gone too.
No, look, it's up to you, I suppose. You come back. I mean, you're eager at that. Luckily, at that stage of my life, I was very, very eager to ride and to get back. So I think I was out for about 4 months and I was back riding. So there was no fear of getting back on a horse, thank goodness. But that aspect will come into it with some people, I'm sure. But you get knocked back a whole season for that sort of thing. It can be out for 3 months, but you're out for the whole season. You've lost those opportunities.
People forget about you quickly.
Yeah, you've lost those opportunities, and that year that could catapult you to a different level. So it knocks you back, but it comes with the territory. Everyone has falls, everyone has breaks, and everyone has hard luck stories. But it's on you to get back up and just get your head to the shoulder to the wheel and keep going.
Yeah, well, then you came back to Durban and you built up a good relationship with Gavin and Gareth Van Zyl.
Yeah, look, it took a while. I was here for quite a while.
I remember you sitting at Ashburton on the fence there with me.
When we were apprentices. With Gary Rich and everyone that was that side. I remember all that too. Yeah. Was it Trevor Lang?
Yes,
He had Shushak. Was it Shushak that horse?
Shushan.
Yeah,
for Derek Martin.
Yes. Yeah. And I think Des Edges still had, what is that good horse of his that he had, Des Edges? Shahstar. Geez, bringing out the names.
Yeah, but, we're getting old.
Yeah, but look, I was apprenticed there and that sort of thing. And then I came back and didn't quite find my feet. I was sort of all over the place, really. I didn't know where to go ride. Rode a lot for Nate. He was training for De Kock. Had a good few winners for them, did very well. But I didn't have a real stable where I would be number one, and started riding for Comnadu. I was his number one. And look, Gavin Van Zyl had asked me a couple of years before, come ride for him. I wasn't too sure, Gavin as a jockey, we went the big mates or that sort of thing. Gavin had a bit of a reputation, So I was like a bit skeptical. But you know what? One or two things happened, and I just went and rode for Gavin and did a bit of track work. Put me on a horse, and the first horse won, and the rest was history. Gareth obviously opened his own stable, and I basically had the rule of the Van Zyl's stable. I was their number one jockey, which helped me a lot, and went on for about 2 years or so, 3 years, and then got the call to go to Johannesburg one day by Paul Peter to come and ride for him. Actually went there and apparently rode a difficult horse, ended up winning, and basically got the call up from there. So it's things that you don't expect to happen that have happened, where you can say luck's gone my way or was it good riding, but look, luck went my way and I landed in some good jobs. It took a long time. But look, grateful for that, and it's all just snowballed, and I am where I am today because of that.
Yeah. With you and Paul Peter, you became champion jockey.
Yes. I was champion jockey the year he ran second.
He ran second.
He ran second. Then the next year was COVID. So we weren't really allowed to travel. So that put pay to at any championship runs, because we only had racing twice a week, or maybe 3 times max.
Yes.
So you couldn't really win a championship at that time. And then the year after, I won it with Paul when he won the championship.
He won the championship. Yeah. Right, Warren. So then from there, you decided to go to New Zealand.
Yeah.
What prompted you?
Yeah, look, it was on the cards for a couple of years. It does take a long time to get your visa and everything sorted out.
Sure.
I had inquired, and there was interest in me, and it sort of stalled a little bit. And then halfway through the year, they came and said, look, do you want to come? I was chasing a championship. Said, well, it's out the question. I'm leading the championship. I'm not giving that up now. So I carried on riding. That championship was the first one. Then COVID hit, and then the next championship, also like late in the year, they asked me again. I said, well, you've got to ask me earlier, because I'm not doing it halfway through the year when I put in all this work already. And then the year after I won the championship, I said, I'm going to go on a break. But it was always towards the end of the season, they'd come back to me, and it was sort of in the works.
Yes.
I had spoken to Donovan Mensua. He had someone there called Daniel Narkley, who runs Bailey Park, who was very interested in me coming. Showed a couple of goes. They watched Gold Cup Day, I think it was. They're very interested in me. So, look, I got the nod there. The visas were sort of in play. They were just postponed. So I reignited them. And look, it wasn't an easy decision.
No, sure.
It's hard to leave, to be a big fish in a pond where you've got to go now somewhere really new and everything's different. But look, I thought for my daughters, for everyone's well-being, well, really, they need to grow up somewhere where I feel that they're going to be very safe and they're going to have plenty of opportunity.
Yeah. But your brother's there, didn't he?
My brother's there and my sister live in New Zealand. They'd immigrated years before, and it was a good big pull for me as well. You know, they were sort of pressuring me, saying, look, get the family together again. It's been so long, because we've been all over the world at different stages of our lives. You know how it goes. And we really wanted to become a family unit again, really. And they said, look, can you come to New Zealand to be with us?
So it was nice you had a bit of a support base.
It was very good. It helped me when I got there.
Yeah.
Look, I landed about 3 weeks earlier than Barbara did. I flew business class and she had to fly cattle class. She was not happy about that, because she had to come with the kids. But look, yeah, we got there, and look, I landed and I was just about straight into it. I was very, very fortunate. Obviously, my videos have been shown to people, and Cambridge started watch them and picked me up straight away. Basically, as I stepped off the plane, I got a phone call. We want you to be our stable rider.
Okay.
And look, took that job, and it's blossomed. We've done extremely well. Won Group 1 races and that sort of thing. But being there, obviously, I landed, went to the family, and they sort of showed me around there, picked me up, and stayed with my sister for a little while till I found my feet. Organised a property before my family got down, and look, it was pretty easy to fit in the day-to-day life sort of spectrum of things.
Okay.
Because they're pretty close to us, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of South Africans that side, and life is like it is here. You know, there's small differences, but it's pretty easy to fit in. But once you get your feet ground, get a place to stay and that sort of thing, get your logistics down, it was pretty easy once my family arrived. That actually helped a lot and kept me pretty busy and kept my mind off things. So basically hit the ground running there and just worked my head off in the first season, linked up with some very nice horses, some very good trainers. And that comes from a lot of the work you do in South Africa. There's a lot of interviewing and a lot of PR that goes on here, which put me in good stead there.
Okay.
You know, so I was able to link up, build relationships very quickly with some leading stables, and got some good horses first season that I was there, and then because I arrived halfway through the season, really. So I was able to win the Cracker Millions. Craig won the Cracker Millions, with the two South Africans won the two biggest races there, you know, on the one day. So that was a really good introduction. And the next season I went for the championship, won it, and it's I don't think it's happened there before when internationals won the championship
so quickly.
Yeah.
I remember I was talking. We did a podcast with Craig Ramsey a couple of weeks back, and he said he takes his hat off to you, because he said not easy. He said the traveling in New Zealand is to all those goat tracks is
it's difficult. You know,
difficult.
I think they got 52 race courses in New Zealand. You know, some of them are way out in the Vundus. You know, so you can look chase.
Did you drive all the way, or did you fly?
Well, it depends if you can fly. Look, Air New Zealand's got the monopoly of flights there, so it's not much competition. I think Jetstar's the least competition, and my first 2 or 3 flights with them weren't reliable, so you fly in New Zealand and they've got monopoly, so the prices are huge. Yeah, it's cheaper to fly to Australia than it is to fly locally in New Zealand. Yeah. So, and some of the courses are really out the way. I mean, you could drive an hour to the airport, fly for an hour, hire a car and drive 2 hours to a race course, and then 2 hours back, jump on a flight, hour back and an hour back home. So
that's what Craig said. You took his hat off to you.
The logistically, it can be an absolute nightmare. If you're chasing a championship. I've done it. I wouldn't want to be doing it again because it can be really tough. You could be in the car driving back home 10, 11 at night, 12 at night, it can be hectic.
Did you go to South Island? Are there tracks there as well?
Yes, there's tracks South Island, absolutely. They've got some good tracks there. Christchurch, really, really nice track, open, spacious, sort of conformed like South African tracks.
Yeah.
Their straights are a bit shorter. I think their longest straights there are about 560 meters. I think that's only 1 or 2 race courses.
Yeah.
The rest you're looking at 400 below. So no false rails. So the racing's very tight, which was difficult to adapt when I first got there because you normally come in straight and there's a split of all the horses. So
with the false
you normally
rails.
get a run, you know. But there you've got to navigate and make sure you get a run. And there's people trying to box you in and that sort of thing. It's competitive. But it's good. It's put me in good stead. It's taught me a lot about riding and riding tight and short straights and moving early and that sort of thing. It's built my confidence in that sort of respect. So it's been really good.
Yeah, so it must have been a bit of a shock coming back here to see all the kamikaze pilots that you have to ride against.
Yeah, look, it was different. Yeah, July Day. And look, July Day is July Day.
No, sure.
But it was a bit chaotic, I thought. Obviously, coming back from there where it's so tight and minimal movement gets you into trouble. I came here and there was quite a bit of movement down the straight and it was pretty different.
Get out of my way.
It was sort of like every man for himself, sort of let's do it, and it's like, you know what.
Well, that's probably taught you well in New Zealand.
Yeah. Look, competitiveness, but a little bit of recklessness, I would say. But look, it is what it is. It is July Day, and everyone wants to win it, and everyone's trying their utmost, and it's a bit different. I mean, a couple of races.
And the Confederate ran a disappointing race.
Yeah, he was a bit disappointing. Look, it mapped out how I thought it would map out. Either I would lead or set up second. Got there, took the whole back stretch, lost no ground really getting over. Got there and he switched off completely with me. He just dropped a bit on me, and I know the pace was a bit slow and I would have happily taken it up, but he wasn't going well enough to do that.
Yeah.
If I took it up, we might have gone even slower. So look, he just ran no sort of a race. Wasn't him on the day. I've seen his replays. It just wasn't the right horse on the day.
Wasn't the right day, And back to New Zealand now. Barbara, your wife, she's taken out a trainer's license.
Yeah, look.
But she was with Dean Canamayer.
She helped. She was assistant to Dean Canamayer, and she went out on her own with her brother.
Yeah.
So it was very tough to leave. She'd started building her stable up, and I was champion, and it was a very tough decision to leave. Sure. Make no mistake. Yeah. But she went over there, and per her visa, she wasn't allowed to do anything for the first year or two, which was really strenuous on all of us. I mean, she's sitting at home doing absolutely nothing. It's really boring. She goes out and helps here and there, but had no real direction.
Yeah.
So it was really distressing, and we were very fortunate. I was riding in Port Elizabeth in New Zealand. I'd linked up when I got there with Peter and Dawn Williams. They're trainers there, very well-known trainers. They've been there a long time, very successful. And look, we became friends and that sort of thing. And they were looking to retire. And I remember I was riding down south chasing the championship, and I got a phone call from Barbara, and she says, "Peter and Dawn want to talk to me." I said, "Well, difference there, you're allowed just your cell phones in the jockey rooms." Yeah. So she phoned me and said, "Look, they want to talk to me." I said, "Well, go and chat to them and see what it's about." And a couple of hours later, she's like, "I need to talk to you." I'm like, "Well, I'm busy riding, trying to win the championship. Yeah, it's near the end. I think it was June.
Wait.
I think it was June. I'm like, wait till I get home.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I got home that night, and Barbara said to me, "Look, they're looking to retire and they want me to take over the stable." So I said, "Well, that was great. It's a huge opportunity.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get another opportunity like that
never.
again."
Yeah.
So they had basically spoken to their owners and that sort of thing and said they've worked with Barbara and she's capable enough. So it's very fortunate she had a lot of the owners stayed with Barbara when they actually did retire.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been her first season now, really. I mean, she took over late June the season before, so it's really a month. And this season she started off fully by herself. So and she's doing well. She's leading the newcomer to training award. She's leading that at the moment. So a couple of weeks to go, and I think she's 3 winners clear. So she's doing well. She's having winners at their headquarters, which is Ellerslie. It's a world famous race course. So that's where you want to be riding the winners. That's where you want to have winners. Winners at Ellerslie.
Gravel.
It's like having winners at Gravel. Winners at Ellerslie. That's where you want to have them.
Yeah.
You know, so she's doing very well, and she's very busy now. It's different there. There's not as much staff as there is available here in South Africa.
So you got to work.
And staffing is very expensive there. So you've got to do a lot of it's hands-on. You've got to do it yourself. So she'll be there mucking out stables and that as a trainer.
Yeah.
You know, that's what you do there. That's what you've got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit like Oz, the same thing. It's a
you've
tough
got to
grinding there.
You've got to work there. It's really tough.
Yeah. No, but whereabouts do you stay? Auckland.
I live in Karaka, just south of Auckland. They have the Karaka sales,
there,
the famous sales there in Karaka. I stay just out of Karaka. It's at Bailey Park, sort of the training centre where Barbara trains. We live on a small holding right there, so she can walk 50 meters to her stable.
Okay, that's cool.
And I'm 15 minutes away from the Cambridge Stud.
They've
got a training facility in Karaka, so I go there. Their stud farms in Cambridge.
Yeah, Cambridge is brilliant. I mean, they stood Sir Tristan, I seem to remember.
Yeah, Sir Patrick Hogan had Sir Tristan and some really good stays, some really magnificent bred horses. And the guys that have taken over now is Brendan and Sir Brendan and Joe Lindsay.
Brendan,
yes, he was knighted. And they took over from Sir Patrick Hogan purely because they wanted to keep the legacy of Cambridge Stud going.
Yeah.
You know, and they just love their horses. They love their breeding and that sort of thing. And they've really become steeped in it and racing their horses now. They race a lot in Australia as well, which hopefully I'll be able to go and ride those horses now. My visas have opened up. So maybe next year you'll see me riding a couple of races in New Zealand, in Australia, but I wouldn't go move there.
Yeah.
I'd stay in New Zealand and I'd go raid Australia.
No, I was looking through the New Zealand Hall of Fame for horses. And I was going through all the Melbourne Cup winners. They all came from New Zealand. And there was that mare Sunline. She won.
Sunline, she was a champion. Yeah.
It was Bone Crusher. My Waverley Star. All those, they all won in Australia.
Yeah. And obviously you had more recently Golden 60, who was bred in New Zealand. What's that champion sprinter that's there now? Kaying Rising, he was bred in New Zealand. Yes. So they breed fantastic horses. The gene pool there is super strong. They used to be known for stayers.
Yes.
It's dwindled a little bit, but I think they're going to start revamping that up again. There's been a lot of money
up against the Aussies who like the...
Yeah, to match up with the Aussies, they're more the sprinter milers.
They can't sprint 1,000 meters as a yearling. They're good.
Yeah, absolutely. New Zealand, I mean, Australia is very well known for the sprinter up to a mile. They're top horses.
Yeah.
And New Zealand was sort of the mile upwards sort of thing. Look, they still take horses over those 2,000 meter races and they win their Group 1s in Australia.
It's quite interesting because Craig Ramsey, he's bought those horses for
Hollywood, yes.
For Hollywood. But interesting to see how they go, with their pedigrees. They're obviously not. He's bought a couple of which he thought might be sprinters, but he's mainly gone for middle distance and a bit further.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Good look. One thing about New Zealand horses, I would say, is they are much tougher horse.
Yes.
Than the South African horses. They're much tougher. I mean, I suppose it's got to do with the climate as well. The winters are very wet and cold. Summer's very hot. The sun will burn your skin.
Hot and wet.
The sun will burn your skin. But look, I think they're just a tougher horse. They get through deep tracks like that. I mean, it's
the going there is some is tough.
It's a different range where you see how we got you got firm, to soft sort of things. Firm, good to soft and that sort of thing. Where they got a spectrum from basically 2 to 10. It used to go higher, but now it's 2 to 10. So from 2 is where it's going to be super firm, all the way through to 10, where it's going to be super heavy. And when it's a 10, it could be a 15 or something. It's
it's heavy.
I mean, they go down to their knees. It's very, very deep, but it's all natural tracks.
That's what I was going to say.
So it's super safe. I mean, the horses don't really falter and that sort of thing there. The biggest thing they have there is when the tracks dry out and they get a little bit of rain, because of the configuration of the tracks, they're a bit tighter.
Right.
That you've got to start moving 500 out, which is on a bend. There's a bit of slipping. So once a horse slips, health and safety is very, very important in New Zealand. So they'll pull the meeting off. Once a horse slips in a race,
I suppose it's wet on top and solid underneath. And
that's the thing. It dries out, and then they get a little bit of rain, and so the wetness is on top. And because it's so tight, those tracks, you're going at that speed around those corners, horses tend to just skid a bit.
Yeah. And how often do they race at those tracks? Those we'll call them bush tracks.
Well, there's racing all year round there, really. Like Ellerslie will have, in summer and spring is basically their time where they have all the major races, they'll race there. And then throughout the year, there'll be meetings chucked around. I mean, you can get some race courses that will only race on twice a year.
Yes, yeah. I mean, that's what I was saying.
And obviously because of that, there's so many courses, the upkeep of those courses, it becomes very expensive. There's so many courses that to upkeep them all is super expensive. So some of them will probably get a bit neglected, but they only race twice a year. So
I wonder how they keep going. But a lot of farmers there.
A lot of farmers, a hell of a lot of farmers, a lot of sheep. But look, it's a wonderful country. I mean, you can be up north, nice and sunny and warmer climate. You go down south, in winter, there's snow in the mountains, you can go skiing. Yeah. So it's an hour away from those sort of extremes. I
was there in 1982. I went to Harrison Bay, right at the top there.
Yeah.
And I stayed with a farmer for 2 weeks in Utiku. You've never heard of Utiku. It's sort of in the middle of the North Island.
Yeah.
I stayed with a bloke called J.J. McCartan, who's an old bulleter. He was a rough farmer.
Yeah.
And his eldest son was running the farm, and his youngest son was playing in a band called Danny and the Dickheads. So
well, that is sort of what you're getting when you get to
New Zealand. It was a music festival, and he said, "Oh, my son's playing."
Yeah. They can be a little bit raw in New Zealand. They're a bit sort of.
They were down to earth.
Yeah, down to earth, but sort of like out in the farms, in the wilderness, sort of. You get those guys that are around there, and look, they stick to their ways and that sort of thing. You know, it's just part and parcel of it. But in general, the people in New Zealand are super friendly, really helpful. I mean, crime there's crime everywhere in the world, but I mean, it's few and far between. It's nothing like we used to.
Yeah,
you know. So like if you could park your car outside a shopping centre, leave your keys in, go do your shopping, come out.
Well, it can't go very far. It's only a small island.
And nothing, you know. I mean, you drop your bank card at a fueling station. You come back the next day, someone's turned it in. You know, it's that sort of thing. So I mean, it's really great living there. There's great people, and I must say I'm really enjoying it. Being there, the weather is something to get used to, but like they say, there's no bad weather, just bad clothing. So you get through it, you know. You do what you got to do. But so far we're pretty happy there.
So what does the future hold for you? Look, you're going to ease off now, but
last year, this year the season that we nearly come to the end, I'd eased off quite a bit. Obviously the year before I traveled a lot for the championship and that sort of thing. And at my stage of career, I'm looking for longevity. I don't need to prove anything to anyone. I've won a championship in New Zealand. I've won championships here. I don't need to prove anything else. I'd like to go over to Australia and do a bit of riding. Obviously, you've got to link up with the right sort of horse. You want to go there and make an impact.
You better speak to Mana. Get Ashley to put you on a... She works for that long-haired bloke with Mahu, whatever his name is.
Kevin Mayer.
Kevin Mayer.
Yeah. Big stables. There's some very big stables in New Zealand, in Australia. But look, I mean, I was unfortunate. I linked up with a horse called Pro West. I had Orchestral and some really good horses that went over there and won Group 1s. But my visa wasn't, I wasn't able to go with them, but was offered. So, but look, that's what happens. Maybe all for a reason. I could link up with a good horse this year and go over there and ride a Group 1 as my introduction to Australia. So that'll be awesome. But look, probably like carnivals in Australia and that sort of thing, I'd probably look at going to, but I wouldn't go from where I am now into Australia. I think it's a bit of a rat race, sort of like South African racing can be. It's full on all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm not really looking for that. I'm looking to spend more time with my family. That's part and parcel of the reason why I moved. So it'd be very contradictory if I did that now.
Yeah.
But look, opportunities do come along in various forms, and you never know if Hong Kong asked or something. If the opportunity comes, I might just take it. I have to have a chat with the family about it. But won't be riding forever. So you got to take these opportunities and do what you can do while you can do it.
Yeah. Tell me the former champion jockey, Opi Basson.
Yes, OP.
Where does he come from? It sounds like Benoni.
No, he was brought up in a place in New Zealand called Rotorua.
Okay, yeah.
But no, he's definitely a New Zealand born and bred boy.
Okay.
Lovely guy, very, very good rider. They got top riders there, Malcolm McNabb, Craig Grills, Ryan Elliott. They got some
They've got some good girls riding there.
good girls riding there. So you got Sam Spratt, Samantha Collins come back from Australia, Kylie Williams. They can hold their own anywhere.
Tell them to come ride here. They get a 1.5 kilo
1.5
allowance.
claim. Yeah. I will tell you, I got a call from a trainer said, don't you know any girls riders there that'll come up? Yeah, we could use their 1.5. I've had a call or two.
Okay.
But yeah, look, they're very good. There's some very, very good riders. I mean, everywhere you go, there'll be good enough riders to ride anywhere. But those people that I mentioned and some that I haven't will be more than capable of riding here anywhere really.
Okay. Warren, thanks very much for coming in and letting us know where you're going and how you're doing it, and New Zealand.
Yeah, cheers. Only a pleasure. It's been great. I've obviously got a lot of support from South Africa on my journey in New Zealand, and it's been great. It's always well received, and I'm very thankful for it.
Don't worry,
people haven't forgotten me.
No, they haven't forgotten you, because every time you ride a winner, it's all on social media.
No, it's good.
Warren's killing them in New Zealand.
Yeah, you get those big ones. That one day was very good. I think I had that 7.
Yeah, 7,
Those days don't come around. So
how many Group 1s have you ridden there?
Oh, I think I've ridden about 7 or 8. Yeah, it's
not bad for
it's been pretty good. Yeah. It's been
1.5 years. Yeah.
Look, they don't have as many Group 1 races as they do everywhere else, but I mean, their Group 1s are worth money. Yes. So, it's good to ride Group 1 horses everywhere and to win group races. But look, I think that day was a Group 1, 3 Group 2s are listed, and they were all major races on the day. I think it was a record that on such a day, I think there was 7 before somewhere in one of the outback places there in New Zealand that someone rode 7. But
so you were sort of like the Frankie Dettori that day.
Well, yeah, that day. And it'll probably never happen again. But look, it was a great. Everything just fell into place, and those days you can do nothing wrong. No matter what you do, you just can't do anything wrong. So
it's like on the golf course when you're just in the groove.
Yeah, very fortunate. And I think I broke the record, and that season I broke the record for stakes earned.
Yeah.
So I've had a great introduction to New Zealand, and look, like I said, I've got nothing more to prove. Everyone there knows I can ride, and they're willing to put me on. And that's what I can ask for.
You've got an agent, huh?
Yep. You get agents in New Zealand, definitely. Not as many as you would find around in South Africa. They're few and far between there. So a lot of agents will have multiple jockeys.
Okay.
Which works but doesn't work.
Yeah, sure. If you're at the bottom of the rag,
it works but it doesn't work. Yeah. But that's up to you to sort that out. Yeah. So I'm getting a new agent this year, and the deal is he solely fixes on me. So we'll see how we go this year, because to be honest, last year I was a bit laxy-daisy. Yeah. And taking that step back was a bit to my detriment. I wasn't getting as many rides as when I wanted to ride. I wasn't getting as many rides because I wasn't riding as frequently. So this year we'll put a head down a little bit and give it a little go, but probably won't chase a championship. I don't want to be traveling that much, but just to remind them that I'm there, and we're here to compete. So I'll be aiming for a top 3 spot this year.
Yeah. Okay, Warren, thanks very much. Regards to Barbara, and
cheers.
Look after your 2 kids.
Yeah, absolutely. It was lovely being on the show. Pity Warren wasn't here. Well,
no, I'm glad he wasn't.
Not for you.
He never stopped talking.
Not for you, but it would have been nice to chat to him. But great to be back, and Gravel has really picked up quite nicely. It's looking good. It's looking really good. That polytrack is phenomenal. So all things are looking good in South Africa, and hopefully I can come back in a year or so and ride another July and maybe win it one day.
Yeah, we'll try and get you a better ride next time.
Yeah, look, it is what it is. On the day, horses are horses, but look to come back and ride another July sometime. Good.
How did you get the name Wagga?
Wagga, well, Wagga was a South African when I was in South Africa. I was a bit of an unruly boy.
Okay.
And I just got this name. Some guy just said, "Oh, you like a Wagga?" I'm like, "All right, whatever that is." And then it snowballed. And then obviously in New Zealand now I'm the Wizard of Woz. But walk back into Jockey, everyone's Wagga, Wagga, Wagga. It doesn't go away. So it was really good to be back and see everyone, and it's like I never left really, which is fantastic.
Yeah, we keep on talking over there. How did the jocks in New Zealand take to you coming into the weight?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Obviously, you knew when you first get there, and everyone sort of wants to suss you out and like, who's this guy and what is he doing here? And is he going to be stealing my rides? Which obviously I did steal
You
a
did?
couple of rides and get, and there was no animosity, but if they could block
were an
me, if
outsider.
you could get blocked, you would get blocked,
Yeah.
But I mean, it wasn't for very long. I mean, the guys could see that, geez, he can ride, and we'd rather have someone that can actually ride than someone that couldn't ride riding amongst us, So once OP and Vinnie Colgan, he's an older jockey there, very good rider as well. Once those guys and the senior guys sort of accepted you, everyone sort of followed suit. But there was no real, like, what are you doing? No bad words and that sort of thing or anything like that. They really were just sort of standoffish, and then accepted me and
Yeah, well, you're an easygoing black, so it's fine.
Yeah.
And you
I
can ride.
suppose I got on pretty easy with the guys. I wasn't there to gun on anyone and steal anyone's rides on purpose and that sort of thing. If I got offered the ride, I'd take it. Obviously I wanted to build a name for myself, so I luckily linked up with some very good horses that didn't have jockeys at the time.
Yeah.
So and that just catapulted me. So everyone's been really good. I mean, we get on now. It's sort of like the Durban Jockey. I can walk in there and it's the same sort of vibe.
Okay. Right, we'll cut this one eventually. Warren, thanks very much for coming on the show. We appreciate it. And we will, is it number 1 box? Number 2 box? Number 1 box. We'll see you in number 1 box. And Warren will be back next week.